guys. So I'm super happy that Emily reached out to me and wanted me to make a video for you guys' retreat. And so if you are watching me, you have been invited to a retreat, which means that you are definitely there for a reason. So I'm just going to pour into you guys a little bit, give you a little bit of insight on my journey. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lachelle Ann. I've been with It Works now for 4 years. I'm a presidential diamond. And 4 years have been just, the last 4 years have been life-changing. And something that I just really want to speak over all of you that are listening now, and I want you to continue to just speak this over, your teams, because I think this is the one thing where that people, sometimes veer off, or they lose focus, or they lose vision, or they forget to dream, or they forget to push themselves because life happens. And life will never stop happening. And something that I am honored that God has put me through, all these different challenges since I joined this business, and I never ever let it affect what I knew I had with It Works Global. So starting this business, I was just the typical broke college student, not using her degree, struggling with debt and all those things, but I was missing fulfillment in my life. I was missing purpose. I knew that I've always wanted to be a part of something, and I knew that I had a lot to give people, but I had yet to train my mind to want to give to people. I knew that I could lead, but I had yet to train myself to lead. And so the beginning of this business was a lot about personal growth. I knew prior to joining It Works that I was worthy of being more. I was worthy of being more of a woman, just more of an influence, more of somebody doing something. I knew I was worthy of that. And so the beginning of this business, the true, I wanted to grow more. I knew that I wanted to grow. So, I got into this business. I started to grow. I heard very early on that this business is self-development with a compensation plan. Cami said that, and it's so true. So I developed myself into a diamond leader, and I was just on it. I'm like, all right, I'm ready, okay? I want to keep going. And so I just started to make sure that the focus was on me, and that I just was becoming stronger mentally, stronger, dealing with obstacles or objections, stronger with fear, and understanding that as a leader that I had to enter first, and I had to try new things and I was just growing. So much growth happened in the beginning of my business, and I was able to promote to diamond in 4 months, and without a bonus, just saying. And then went double 2 months later, and then went triple in my 7th month. And I was just on cloud 9. Everything was going so great. I couldn't believe it. Like, I found this thing. I was making like killer money. It was just absolutely insane, okay? Then my relationship got rocky. Little did anybody know that my relationship got rocky, but that's just something that started to affect my business. But I knew, and this was like the first test that I felt like maybe God was testing me, okay? I'm giving you a lot, Lachelle. Are you able to withstand a lot, Lachelle, okay? So my relationship started to get a little bit of rocky, and I actually, if you really look into things, if you really look into the power of balance when it comes to balance in your personal life, balance in your relationship, balance in your business, it all kind of mirrors each other. And so if one is a little bit off balance, that's when the others become a little bit off balance. So right after I went triple diamond, there was just a little bit of little relationship issues happening, and I sat at triple diamond for an entire year, okay? And it was because, I was off balance in another part of my life, and I had not yet learned to just take better care of myself in all different aspects and balance my business better. So then I got my head back in gear. I got into the point of I can't worry about this relationship constantly. Like, I have an entire future that I'm a part of, something that can change my entire future still. That's not changing. That hasn't changed. All right? My relationship might change, which it did. And I got a new one, which I'm really happy about. But It Works never changed. It Works is always there. Again, it was the constant that was always there. That was going to be there. It would have been there before the relationship. It was there during the relationship, and it's still here after that relationship is no longer with us. Okay. All right. So a year later, I went presidential. Cloud nine again. I'm going to turn this off. My ADD is serious. I went presidential exactly 1 year after I went triple diamond. Cloud nine, I earned $100,000 bonus, and it's almost like I know now that God is like, you ready? You ready, Lachelle? Because I'm giving you more. So you ready? Can you withstand this? Can you withstand this? And so I grew so much as a person that year. I earned that $100,000 bonus, and 2 days. Yes, it was 2 days after they showed, after I was paid final commissions, the biggest, highest check I've ever seen in this business. My mom called, and she gave me the call. She gave me I am diagnosed with terminal cancer, Lachelle. I am so sorry. And I was just like, this is not real. This is not real. It's one of those things that you never think that can happen to you. Doesn't matter how great your life looks. Doesn't matter if you're making crazy amounts of money. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Life happened again. And in such a significant way that, I left my house in Vegas 3 days, 72 hours after she called me. I left with 2 suitcases. I left my entire house. I went there to care for her because I needed to hear it from the doctors myself. I didn't believe her. I'm there with the doctors. The doctors say it's time to take action and get everything ready. Hospice. She has about 6 weeks left to live. And I'm just like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, I was in complete denial, okay? But life was happening to me so bad. I was preparing to lose my mother. I was signing power of attorneys. Everything was being put in my name. And I continued to work this business. And because of this business, and I'm telling you right now that wherever you are at in this business, life is going to happen to you in the future. There is something that's coming. I'm not, and it's not wishful thinking. I don't wish anything that I've had to go through with my mom on anybody, but life is always going to happen, and there's something that's going to happen that's going to affect your life. And thank God truly for this business, because, everything's signed, power of attorney signed, everything is ready to go. She's ready to die. And I just was not ready. And I'm so sorry. I dropped my coffee directly in the trash. That was perfect. So sorry. So I went online one night and I researched Mayo, and I wanted to, because it's the number one hospital in the country, and I was just like, there has to be something that can be done, like clinical trial treatments. I kept reading about clinical trial treatments. I'm like, maybe they can do experiments on her or something. Like, I was completely like ignorant to the entire idea, but I just knew that I was not ready to lose my mom. Sure enough, there was clinical trial treatments. I didn't even know that you needed you had to be on the waiting list for 6 months or anything like that. I just looked at my mom. I said, hey, we're packing up and we're going to Mayo. It's only a 5-hour drive. I'll get a hotel. We're going to stay there over the weekend. We're going to walk in. We're going to see if they have any clinical trial treatments. Like, I didn't know that you actually have to call 6 months in advance. And, like, anyways, long story short, I took her right to Mayo. There was clinical trial treatments. Her insurance didn't cover it. Nothing. And we got an appointment. It's kind of like I don't know what it's called. It's like what was it called? A consultation or whatever. And they're like, it's $48,000. And I'm like, cool. Who do I sign the check to? And because of this business, because I never let up the gas, because I work this business with no end in mind, and I want you guys to all know that God did not bring you this far to bring you this far, and He will always bring life into you. Life is always going to happen. It's always going to happen. It's always going to happen. But if you continue to work this business with no end in mind, you will always be ready for the next thing that's going to happen. And because I work this business through a very rocky relationship, that was when life was happening. Then life happened again. My mom happened. And you know what? I was ready. I was ready to take care of her. I was ready to pay for her treatment. And today, she is 2 years cancer-free. The clinical trial experiment worked. It's not an experiment, but it worked. And because of this business, that is the only way that I would have been able to save my mom's life or else I could have, gotten more loans and done all these other things because I just wasn't ready. But because I was involved in this business and because I never let up the gas, I was able to pay for my mom's cancer treatment. And she is alive, well, and kicking. Okay. So, what happens next? What happens next? Life never stops happening, guys. And I met a new boy That's very distracting also. But I remember even telling him in the first couple dates, it was like the first or second date, I said, listen, I'm a rap girl. I'm involved with It Works Global, and he wasn't very active on social media, so he didn't really know anything. But I was like, it'll always come before you, always. Sorry, I just want to be honest with you, and I'm not even kidding you. He tells the story all the time. He tells people, he's like, I'm like number 3. Like, it's like It Works, Ashton, me. No, Ashton is definitely first now, but he knew that It Works was such a substantial, is so important to me that he knows that it does come first, because you know what? Because of It Works again. Because of It Works, I was able to buy our first home, all right? Because of It Works, I was able to buy our parent car. Because of It Works, I was able to bring him home right after having Ashton. Because of It Works, I was able to pay off the rest of his debt, because I didn't want baby daddy. Baby daddy was married once before, so baby daddy had some divorce debt that I wanted gone before Ashton. So because of It Works, baby daddy was a debt-free baby daddy after we had Ashton. And because of It Works now, okay, so like being a new mom, pregnancy was so hard. Pregnancy was just so hard. But again, I could lay in my bed on my phone and work as much as I wanted to, or as into my bare minimum, because I've always had a bare minimum. And I could just continue to work this business. I never, ever, 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 ever have taken it off the table. And again, because of It Works, coming up, I am going to get baby daddy's count to triple diamond. It's coming soon. And I'm going to present him with the opportunity to stay home or go part-time so that he doesn't have to miss things with Ashton. So that's kind of my entire story, but where I really want to just make sure that the topic of my story stays is that life is always going to happen. There's more things that are going to be coming. There's always things that are going to come, whether it's trials, whether it's celebrations, whether it's exciting things like buying a house or having a child or anything like that. There's always things that are coming that cost money. Now, if you are in if you just have like a normal job or anything like that, there will be limitations to how much extra money that you were able to create through that platform. In a platform like this, which you are all a part of, you are at a leadership retreat, you are in leadership mode, all right? Means that you've already crossed the line of being able to make a lot of money. You've already crossed the line. There's a line that you cross to make a lot of money, and then there's no other line. You can just keep making more money. You just have to decide to. It's like people get to a certain rank sometimes and they don't decide to make more money. It's like they're like, okay, well, maybe it'll just come now that I've crossed this line. Then it means, no, you just got to keep going. There is no finish line anymore once you've started to make those big checks. You just keep going. But there's always going to be things that are happening around the corner, and it's either happening, you feel like it's happening against you or whatever it is, but how much easier is it to live life without limits because you never slow down in the one thing that is completely controllable, and It Works is completely controllable. Through my mom's cancer, through a hard pregnancy, through a hard breakup, through moving across country, through buying a home, through all these different things that I've gone through, the big and the small, all right? I have had big things happen and very small things happen. I've never changed the consistency with It Works. Never once have I ever changed the consistency with It Works. And as long as you never change that, I'm telling you, the sky is the limit. And so I just want you guys to know that if you are at this leadership retreat, you are here for a reason, and God did not take you this far just to take you this far. And understand that life will always happen, all right? But to never take It Works off the table because life starts to happen, because you are a part of something that can make life so much more just easier and fulfilling and available, and just there's so much to offer and to have and to give in this opportunity that you will continue to be abundantly rewarded with consistency in just life. Never ever work this business with some end in mind. Just continue to rise, okay? So I hope that you guys are enjoying your weekend. I hope that my story inspires one of you. I hope that you know that life is always going to happen, and this is not the portion to take off your plate, okay? This is the one that you go back for seconds, thirds, that you make every Thanksgiving, every holiday. This is the forever dish that's just going to be handed down from generation to generation, all right? You got the secret recipe right here that works. And I hope that you guys are loving green carpet, and whatever's announced, take whatever's announced from green carpet, I kind of know, and run with it, all right? Because, you know, we're only 3 months away from the beginning of the year, which is the brand new boom and the brand new run, and everything that you're doing right now in the fourth quarter is setting you up for the first quarter of next year. So bye, guys. Have a great retreat.